Levy County child. Neglect case, a failure of parental duty. Imagine a 2-year-old, her tiny body convulsing, exhibiting the horrifying symptoms of drug intoxication. This is the reality of the Levy County child neglect case, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of parental negligence and the insidious reach of drug abuse. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Debra Scott, a 29-year-old resident of Levy County, Florida, now faces charges of aggravated child neglect. The victim in this case is her own 2-year-old daughter. The arrest stems from the child exhibiting symptoms indicative of drug intoxication, a situation no child should ever endure. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the nature of the charge. Aggravated child neglect in Florida carries significant penalties, reflecting the state's commitment to protecting its most vulnerable citizens. This case highlights a profound breach of parental responsibility. The child's symptoms were deeply disturbing. She displayed erratic behavior and inability to sleep, and what witnesses described as acting crazy, including flailing her arms uncontrollably. These are not the actions of a healthy, happy toddler. These symptoms pointed towards stimulant use, specifically the telltale signs of tweaking, a term often associated with methamphetamine intoxication. The suspicion quickly turned to the possibility of exposure to both methamphetamines and opiates, a terrifying combination for a child's developing body. Medical tests subsequently confirmed the presence of both stimulants and opiates in the child's system. The method of exposure remains under investigation, with possibilities ranging from inhalation to ingestion or even skin contact. Each scenario paints a grim picture of the child's environment. Perhaps the most damning aspect of this case is the significant delay in seeking medical attention. Scott reportedly waited approximately 12 hours before taking her daughter to the hospital. This delay could have had catastrophic consequences for the child's health. Instead of immediately calling 911, Scott opted to ask a third party to transport her and the child to the hospital. This decision, driven by unknown motivations, further exacerbated the delay and potentially worsened the child's condition. The decision not to call emergency services raises serious questions about Scott's judgment and priorities. The 12-hour delay, coupled with the reliance on a third party for transportation, are critical factors that likely contributed to the arrest decision. The residence where Scott and her daughter lived is reportedly linked to drug activity. Located in Bronson-Levy County, the home has become a focal point of the investigation. Scott had only recently moved to this location, adding another layer of complexity to the case. The primary concern is the child's potential exposure to dangerous substances within the home environment. Whether through direct contact or environmental contamination, the child's well-being was clearly compromised. While it remains unspecified whether illicit substances or drug paraphernalia were found at the residence, the connection to drug activity paints a disturbing picture of the environment in which this child was being raised. This is a critical area of ongoing investigation. The aggravated child neglect charge carries severe penalties under Florida law. This reflects the state's unwavering stance against endangering the health and well-being of children. The direct threat to the child's health due to drug exposure is at the heart of this charge. The investigation is ongoing, and authorities are exploring the possibility of additional charges. The scope of the investigation extends beyond Scott, with the potential involvement of other individuals being actively examined. The Levy County Sheriff's Office is urging the public to come forward with any information related to this case. Community involvement is crucial in ensuring that justice is served and that the child receives the necessary protection and care. The child's current condition has not been publicly released, likely to protect her privacy and well-being. Similarly, information regarding the child's custody status remains confidential, pending decisions by the relevant authorities. It is unknown whether the Florida Department of Children and Families, DCF, is involved in a parallel case. DCF's involvement would focus on ensuring the child's safety and determining the appropriate long-term care arrangements. Scott has not yet entered a plea in this case. The hearing schedule and her bail status have also not been released to the public. These details will become clearer as the legal proceedings unfold. Anyone with information related to this case is urged to contact the Levy County Sheriff's Office. Your information, no matter how small it may seem, could be crucial to the investigation and the pursuit of justice. For those who suspect child abuse or neglect, the Child Help USA hotline is available 24/7 at 1-800-4-A-CHILD, 1-800-422-4453. This vital resource provides support and intervention in over 170 languages. This case serves as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of children and the devastating consequences of parental negligence. It demands a thorough investigation, accountability for those responsible, and a commitment to protecting the well-being of all children in our communities. This is not just a legal case, it's a moral imperative. We must demand better for our children. Call to action. This case is a stark reminder that child neglect is a pervasive issue. We urge you to educate yourself on the signs of child abuse and neglect. Contact your local Child Protective Services agency to learn how you can report suspected cases. Support organizations dedicated to child welfare and advocacy. Donate your time or resources to help children in need. Demand that our elected officials prioritize child protection policies and funding. Only through collective action can we create a safer and more nurturing environment for all children.